Hello friends, welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about pendency of cases in the Indian Judiciary. Now coming to the current affair, the CJI, Chief Justice of India, has recently remarked that the judiciary was overburdened with a lot of pending cases. He mentioned that there are around 3 crore pending cases with the Indian judiciary. Now with the statement of the CJI, the pendency in Indian judiciary has again become an important current affair. Now let us see what are the observations made by the CJI. The first one, there are around 3 crore pending cases in the Indian judiciary. And out of this 3 crore pending cases, around 81 lakh cases were only 1 year old cases. And around 50 lakh cases were petty cases. For example, violation of Motor Vehicles Act, etc. So 81 lakh cases were very new, that was pending for less than 1 year. 50 lakh were regarding the petty cases including the violation of Motor Vehicles Act, and around 25 lakh cases were pending for more than 10 years. So here this 25 lakh cases which are pending for more than 10 years in the Indian judiciary is a cause of concern, because the Indian judiciary functions on the principle of justice delayed is justice denied. So more than 25 lakh cases were undergoing trial or are pending in the judicial system for over 10 years. That means here justice is being denied. So it is against the basic principles of Indian judiciary. Now the second observation made by the CJI was regarding the vacancies in the Indian judiciary. So there were around 392 vacancies in the high courts alone. High courts are higher courts and they are the apex court in a state or in a group of states. So there are 392 vacancies in the high courts alone, and coming to the lower courts, the vacancies number were very high. Coming down to the district courts, the vacancies were around 5,000, and even the subordinate courts, they also have around 5,000 vacancies. Now looking into the vacancies one by one, in case of high courts, out of this 392 vacancies that are pending in the high courts, around 270 vacancies has not even got the recommendation for the post. That means no action has been taken in order to fill these vacancies in the high courts. Coming to the district courts, it is said that around 75% of the vacancies in the district courts would be filled by 2019. And coming to subordinate courts, there are around 5,000 vacancies in the subordinate courts alone. And this accounts to around 1/4 of the total sanctioned strength of the subordinate courts. So with this high number of vacancies, there is no doubt that there can be more and more pending cases piling up in the Indian judiciary in the coming days. So the justice dispensation system, that is the Indian judiciary, has become vulnerable because of mainly 2 reasons. One is the pendency of cases. Second one is the lack of judges or vacancy. Now the second reason is connected with the first one, because when there is lack of judges, the judicial process gets delayed and it will lead to pendency of cases. So one major reason causing the pendency of cases is the lack of judges in the Indian judiciary. Now the CJI has himself made a statement regarding the pendency and vacancy of the post of judges in Indian judiciary and pendency of cases in Indian judiciary. So this has brought this issue again into the news and it has become an important current affair. Now we have seen that vacancy in the judicial system is one major reason for increasing number of pendency. Now is vacancy the only reason that has caused pendency? No. Another important factor is the disposal rate. The vacancy ratio in Indian judiciary, that is in the courts and in the tribunals, is around 25 to 33%. So if this 25 to 33% of the vacancies are filled, it will lead to disposal of the same percentage of cases, that is 25 to 33. So another major percentage, that is up to 70 to 75% of the cases will again be pending in the lower courts in the country. So we cannot say that vacancy is the only reason. So vacancy amounts to 25 to 33%, filling which will cause an increase in the disposal of cases by 25 to 33%. Now another important factor that has caused pendency in Indian judicial system is the disposal rate. So the disposal rate in the Indian judiciary must increase. That means disposal of cases at the earliest. So filling of vacancies plus higher disposal rates must be accompanied by improvements in the lower judiciary as well. For example, increasing the efficiency of lower judiciary, fast disposal of cases, arbitration, etc. Now coming to other shortfalls and the way out. We have seen that lower rates of disposal is one major reason for increasing the pendency of cases in the Indian judiciary. So one important reason for slow disposal of cases is the adjournments. Adjournments means postponing the trial of the cases. So adjournments are one major reason for slow disposal of cases. So the lower courts must take a positive approach in order to finish the trial of cases as early as possible without giving adjournments for unwanted reasons. So in this regard, various high courts in the country can issue directions to the lower courts in the particular state in order to minimize the adjournments and limit the adjournments to only necessary reasons. So when adjournments come down, this will lead to fast disposal of cases, and this will reduce the pendency in the Indian judicial system. Now, second reason is filing of too many court cases. Sometimes in many cases there are scope for an arbitration, but the parties may be taking it to the court for a litigation or for a legal action. For example, if there is a boundary dispute between two neighbors, there is a huge scope for arbitration for such type of cases. So, such type of cases first need to try any possibility of an arbitration before they are taken up to the courts for litigation or for legal action. So in this regard, the courts can also take certain decisions not to admit certain cases without proper reason. So if there is any chance of an arbitration, first the parties can try for an arbitration, and without substantial reasons, courts should not take up all the cases that comes up to it. So in that way, the number of cases coming up to the courts can be minimized, and courts can concentrate on the disposal of the available number of cases with them with valid reasons. So the number of cases will come down, therefore pendency rates also will come down. Now the third reason is regarding the disposal of the cases. So in order to improve the disposal of the cases can be bundled issue wise. For example, courts on specific subjects can be created. Fiscal courts, administrative courts, such type of specialist courts can be created in order to deal with specialist matters. So that will also help in faster disposal of cases. And last, regarding the old cases, we have seen that a large number of around 25 lakhs cases which are more than 10 years old are pending in the Indian judicial system. Such type of cases must be given a special focus, and older cases must be disposed at the earliest on a priority basis. So it is a need of the hour to dispose of maximum cases as possible. So bringing down the pendency in the Indian judiciary system will ensure that justice is done to the citizens of the country without harming their rights. So it should also be a priority of the higher courts like the High Courts and the Supreme Court in order to reduce the pendency of cases. So High Courts and Supreme Court can issue directions to the lower courts with regard to faster disposal of cases and to reduce the pendency. And the appointments to the lower courts, that is the district courts and the subordinate courts, are done by the concerned state governments. So there should be an immediate action to fill the vacancies that are existing in the lower courts, in the district courts and in the subordinate courts. Now there is an ongoing proposal also to include Indian judicial services in the All India services. Thereby Rajya Sabha can pass a resolution and Parliament can make laws regarding the appointment to the lower judiciary. So I have made a video on All India Judicial Services which is available on the StudyIQ channel. You can get all the details of the proposal, the shortcomings of the proposal, what are the advantages of the proposal, everything is discussed in the video. So please find the video on StudyIQ channel. The video is named as All India Judicial Services. And you can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page. And for any queries regarding your UPSC preparations, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page, or you can email me at joyce.studiiq@gmail.com. Thank you.